Greetings, teenage human. I'm Josh Shipp, and I want to welcome you to glorious, beautiful California. I'm Josh Shipp, and you asked for it. Internet. Hey Josh, you have such incredible hair. Why, thank you. And you always wear cool clothes. How do I get swag like you? Thank you for your question, Justin Bieber. It is true that I have the moves like Jagger. Let me confess something to you. This outfit I'm wearing, I actually bought it at Gymboree. I shop at children's clothing stores because that's the only place with my size. Look, let's be honest, I'm built like a Japanese schoolgirl. Konnichiwa. What? Come on. Style is both important and overrated. Bottom line, there's nothing wrong with fashion. Every generation has a different definition of what cool looks like. And that's not going away anytime soon. But clothing, style, is a uniquely human thing. We are literally the only thing on this planet that wears clothes. I mean, animals don't wear clothes, right? You know, hippos aren't out there saying, does this dress make me look fat? No! Dude, you're a hippo. You look fat because you're supposed to be fat. Shake what your mama gave you. Junk in the trunk, trunk, trunk. Hippo's like, what? Think about it. Disney characters that are human, that talk, wear clothes. Mickey Mouse, he's got overalls. Goofy, he's got those big old gloves. Donald Duck doesn't wear pants. Like my grandfather. It's awkward. My point is, humans wear clothes, right? Style and clothes matter to us as humans. However, clothes do not define who you are. They are an extension of who you are. Preach it, ha! Come on, church. You have to find out who you are and what you like, what your preferences are, what you think is cool. We wear clothing to express our own unique individuality. See, I'm hired to speak at a lot of schools and colleges, and some of those schools, you know, the fancy pants private schools, they require students to wear school uniforms. And here's what I notice. Even though everyone is literally wearing the exact same uniform, people want to express themselves differently. You know, they wear a button, or they tie their tie differently, or they wear different shoes. Part of becoming an adult is figuring out what you like and figuring out what you don't like. But wait, there's more. Clothing and style are also, if I may say, a bit overrated. You know, what you wear, what you drive, what color your hair is. We all know that those kinds of things don't define a person. Let me prove it to you. Have you ever met someone who is incredibly stylish and an absolute jerk? Someone who dresses really cool, but frankly, they are really, really vain? Now, I'm not gonna make a Kardashian joke here. I'm an overachiever, and frankly, that's too easy. It's low-hanging fruit. I like a challenge. Why did he do that? I'm not sure. Bottom line, we don't interact with someone's shirt or their shoes. We interact with their insides. That was disgusting. Calm down, sixth graders. Lay off the Hershey's chocolate syrup. My point is, we interact with an individual's character, not what they wear. So yes, fashion can be cool, but if you value the outside too much, you will absolutely miss the most important thing. What a person is like on the inside, who they are, their character. And that, my teenage human friends, is where style is overrated, because it can cause you to judge a book by its cover. And that's a shame. So no matter what your style is, you know, what you like, what you do with your hair, what sort of jeans you wear, here's what I know. Don't judge a book by its cover. And frankly, some of you right now listening to me, you do this. And you need to stop. Seriously, be yourself. Do not make someone a priority if all you are to them is an option. That was good, tweet that. I mean, as much time and attention as you pay to your own style, try to pay more attention to the person, to who you are, to who that other individual is. Find out what they're like, who they are, what they're into. who they genuinely are, not just what they wear. I promise you this, and I don't make many promises. If you do this, you'll be glad you did. Here's the next question. My friend said that having a tattoo is a sin. Is this true? Now I'm wondering, is this the same friend that enjoys Vin Diesel movies and coloring by number? Is it? Well, let me be honest with you, the Bible isn't clear on this issue. In the ancient days of beards and walking around with wooden staffs, God commanded the Jews not to get tattoos, but frankly, that could have been for hygienic reasons or because most ancient tattoos were actually of other gods or tribal markings. Here's what most theological fancy pants individuals say. They say that the Bible is inconclusive on this issue. Now, if you're in 4th grade and you don't understand what inconclusive means, it means that you're dehydrated. I'm serious. I'm not. No, seriously, it does. The Bible does have plenty to say about making decisions in general. And a good place to start is to ask yourself, what is the wise thing to do?
I see.
This might be the most important question you can ever ask yourself in life. If you're ever stuck on any issue, on anything, just ask yourself this question. What's the wise thing to do? And so wise meaning good long-term, not, what feels good now, but what is the best long-term for me? Now, tattoos are sort of interesting, right? Because they are permanent, they're expensive, which means they're more serious than, say, dyeing your hair pink or shaving all of your leg hair, because that'll grow back. Yeah, your legs is gonna be all scratchy and stuff, but tattoos are permanent. So before you go ahead and get that tattoo, you should really ask yourself, do you want that full color outline of SpongeBob SquarePants on your forearm when you're 40? Also, with a tattoo, motivation matters. I mean, why do you really want to get a tattoo, right? When Americans were asked, Jeopardy style, why they got a tattoo, they sort of broke it up into 5 main reasons. That it either represented a loved one, someone living or someone who had passed away. Another reason was for religious reasons, so maybe they got a cross or something. The third reason was that they were at one point in the military. They got one because a friend got one. Or the 5th reason, and most regrettable of all, that it was just a dumb mistake. They often quoted alcohol and or being an idiot. We've all met the grandma who had like the barbed wire, and now the barbed wire has turned into a white picket fence. That's awkward. So that's something to think about. In general, I don't think doing something because your friend did it is a good idea, right? That's like grandma always said. So if your friend jumped off of a bridge, would you too? Pardon you, grandma. Look, something permanent etched in your skin, you may want to put some thought into it. Now, one final word about this, and frankly, this is the most important thing I'm going to share with you on this topic. Tattoos are a form of self-expression. They do not make you someone. The question you have to ask yourself is this who I want to project to the entire world who I am, right? If you are a coward, guess what? All of a sudden getting some tough guy tattoo on your forearm isn't gonna make you a tough guy, isn't gonna make you Popeye. It may just frankly leave you with regret. Gentlemen, linebackers, linemen, do you really want that tattoo on the small of your back? Do you? Just like, if you buy that particular clothing or download that song or buy that particular thing, it may be cool for a little bit, but it doesn't change who you are at all. So if you think somewhere in the back of your mind, if I get a tattoo, this will make me cool or edgy or mysterious or dangerous or tough, you are lying to yourself. In your face, but on your side. I tell you that because it's actually true. You getting a tattoo is not going to change who you are. It's just going to set you back a couple $100 and you're going to have some ink on your skin forever. Look, tattoos are permanent and they are expensive. Bala! So, if this is something you're going to choose to do when you are of legal age and when it is appropriate, you're gonna have to face that question. Is this me trying to make me something I'm not? Or is this something that I genuinely feel is an expression of myself? 3. Here's our next question. I'm not really the church type. I don't like Christians. I'm pretty different. So what's wrong with skipping church? All right, look, I get it. You're not into the ladies with the blue hair and the awkward church dramas with the glorious trademark dove hands. And getting yelled at by some guy in a suit who's up there talking about Jesus. So you're right, Christians are sometimes weird. We talk weird, we're all homeschooled, we sit in our basement not watching TV. We don't even celebrate Halloween, but instead we have harvest parties or the Holy Ghost wiener roast, which just sounds weird. Look, I get it, but here's the thing. You just said in your question to me, I don't like Christians, period. Which is like saying, I don't like people from California, right? That's a big group of folks you're talking about, and you just generalized. And you know what happens when you assume, don't you? Thank you, Grandma, for that one. So you can say, look, I don't like some of the Christians I've met, but you can't really honestly deep down say, I don't like Christians, right? Christians come in all shapes and sizes. I've met Christians that drive me so crazy, I would like to literally punch them in the face. Oh, it's not very Christian of me, I guess. Let's try that again. I've met Christians who literally drive me so crazy, I would like to high-five them in the face. That better? But I have also genuinely met Christians who have become my very best friends. Go and tell that, homeboy. Here's a big idea. If you are interested or curious about God, then church is the place for you. This is the place for you. No matter what your family of origin is like, no matter where you live, what you've gone through, what you're going through right now, this place right here, right now, where you are seated, this place is for you. And I bet if you open up your mind for just a moment, let your guard down, and give it a shot, you'll probably actually meet a handful of people who are really cool that you can connect with. Now look, I don't believe in accidents. And I don't think it's an accident you're hearing my voice and looking at my pale, freckled, man-boy face. So give it a shot. I did, and it truly changed my life in a big way. But that's not all I have to say about this issue, because let's be honest, I like to run my mouth. I know some of you are listening to me, and you would call yourself a Christian. You love this place, this is your home. But you heard me read that guy's question, right? Where he said that all of you are weird and judgmental. So here's my question to you. Here, come up here a little bit, camera guy. What are you going to do about that? Right? Think about it. Jesus said to welcome everyone. So you know what that means you have to do? Yeah, you have to welcome everyone. Now, that doesn't mean everyone will stay. That doesn't mean everyone's going to like you. But it does mean that you got to go out there and give it a shot. Be nice to someone. Show someone around. Invite them to sit with you, include them in conversation, ask them questions about their selves. Where do you go to school? What kind of things are you into? Hey, what's your name? Where do you go to school? What sort of things are you into? Do you have Facebook? Do you have Twitter? Hashtag LOL OMG. Will it be a little awkward at first? Yeah, but who cares? If you want to start making people believe that everyone belongs, you need to start acting like you believe everyone belongs. Here's a little preview of next week. I'm going to be ramping it up a bit and answering some more challenging questions. So I'll see you there. But until then, I'm Josh Shipp, and just remember, you asked for it. So it's your fault, not mine. Don't get mad at me. Don't leave hate comments on my Facebook wall like, oh, I can't believe you said that thing about that thing. You asked the question, not me.